Learning Zila Nishmas Etta Ahuva Basakim Maseches Eduyos Perik Hey Mishna Beis. Rabbi Yossi Meshisha Dvarim Mikula Beis Shammai Mechumer Beis Hillel. There are 6 places where Beis Shammai is Mekel, and in this Mishnah and the next Mishnah we'll find other Mishnayos, other places that there are Tanoim that argue. The first case is brought in Chulin Kuf Daled Amud Beis, and Rashi says that there are others that argue. The reason why we say Dafka these 6, because it's in these 6 there Rabbi Yossi held Beis Shammai is Lekula, but others argue. So the first one is Ha'oif Oile Magvina Ala Shulchan Ein Nechel Kedivri Beis Shammai Beis Hillel Oimrim Ein Oile Ve'ein Nechel. The Machlek is Beis Shammai Beis Hillel, if you're allowed to keep chicken and milk or gvina or cheese on the same table, meat and milk you are not allowed to keep on the same table. You would need a hecker, like a placemat. But chicken together with milk is a machlekes. According to Beis Shammai, you are allowed to, because chicken is only midirabanan. Beis Hillel held that even though chicken's derabanan, there's a strict gzeira that we're afraid that if you keep chicken and milk on the same table, you're going to come to put meat in a boiling hot pot of hot milk, and you're going to be over bishul daraisa. The second case is Tarmin Zaysim al Shemen va'anovim al Yayin Kedivri Beis Shammai uBeis Hillel Oimrim Ein Tarmin. So this is brought down in the first parak in Trumas, except over there the machlekes is that it seems like everyone holds the lechatchila you can't do it, and they're arguing about b'diavad. According to Beis Shammai, b'diavad it worked. According to Beis Hillel, even b'diavad it doesn't work. So now lechatchila, the reason why you can't do it is because the zaysim are not nigmer al-malachta yet, because it's talking about that zaysim are oimed to squeeze out, and you didn't get to that process yet. And the olive oil is already nigmer al-malachta, and you can't give truma on something that's loy nigmer al-malachta on something that is nigmer al-malachta. It's learned out from a pasuk that says kidagan min hagar. The reason why Beis Hillel says that even b'diavad it doesn't work, so the Yerushalmi brings 2 reasons, either because of Torach, which means that you're giving the kayin olives and grapes instead of giving him oil and wine, which is already ready done, and you're making him do the work. So you're putting the tircha on the kayin. And the second reason over there brought down is because shehu mevakish litrim lefi shemen ve'einei torim el lefi zaysim. Meaning that since you're giving the hafrasha off of the liquid, you would need to give the amount of liquid within this grape or olive, and we're afraid that you're not going to come to give the right amount. The third kula Beis Shammai is hazareya arba ames shebekarim. Someone plants 4 ames within 4 ames of a vineyard. So Beis Shammai omrim kidesh shura achas. It doesn't answer the whole vineyard, even according to Beis Hillel either. It only answers what is the minimum share of a karim. So according to Beis Shammai, the minimum share of a karim is 1 row of, let's say, 5 vines. Beis Hillel omrim kidesh shtei shuras, that it's only considered a karim if you have 2 rows of 5 vines, and therefore, so it answers the minimum karim, but the minimum karim according to him is shtei shuras. And that is a Mishnah in Klayim, Perik Daled, Mishnah Hey. The fourth case is Him Isa, Beis Shammai Poichin, Beis Hillel Mechayven. So this is a shaila in Chi of Chala. What has a halacha of lechem when you mix together boiling hot water and flour? So this is brought in the Gemara in Brachas, in Psachim, on Daf Lamed Zayin Amud Beis. And over there, there's 2 cases. There's a case of Him Isa and a case of Hechlita. Him Isa, the Gemara says, means that you was kemach al gabe muglashin, was the flour on top of the hot water. And hechlita is the reverse, that you have flour on the bottom and you pour hot water on top. And the Gemara basically comes out over there that Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel would argue in both cases, and it's a machlekes whether Beis Shammai is the kula, Beis Hillel is the chumrah. Our mission is saying that Beis Shammai is the kula, and therefore it's not considered chala in neither of those cases when you're just mixing hot water with the flour. It's not considered lechem, and Beis Hillel held that it was considered lechem. The 5th case is matbilan b'chardlis, that you could be tovel in a waterfall, and this is a problem of maybe it's not considered a mikvah while the water is flowing. So Beis Shammai says that you're allowed to do it. Beis Hillel Omer Emat Bilin that you can't be tevel. So Rashi in Chagiga Yutes Amid Aleph, when it brings it down, Rashi says actually there's two problems. One problem is since a waterfall is so steep that it's going like vertically down, so we can't consider that the 40 saw are in one place. And the other pshat in Rashi is that Mei Geshamim are only mitahar ba'ashbarin when they're steady in one place, and not while they're flowing derech zichilosen. And the final machlokes where Beis Shammai is Meikos, Gershon is Gai Arvi Psachim, Beis Shammai Yomim Toiva V'Eichas Pischel Erev, Beis Hillel Omer HaParish Min HaOrli HaParish Min HaKever. Now, a regular person that gets a bris milah, we tell him to go to the mikveh, but he could be toivel, and that night he could eat his carbon pesach. But a goy, the Gemara says in Psachim, that Tzadik Beis Aman Aleph, the Mishnah is brought over there also in the 8th parak, according to Beis Hillel, is a gzeira that we're afraid this guy is going to get tamei next year, and he's going to say, oh, last year I knew I had to go to the mikveh to eat my carbon pesach. I went to the mikveh and I ate it that night. And he's not going to realize that, because last year was only a problem of arelis. But now, if he really has a problem of Tumah Gemura, he needs Hazah, Gimel V'Zayin, and therefore we said that even the first year when he's going to the mikveh, even if he happens to be tar, he has no Tumas Meis, he should wait and have Hazah, Gimel V'Zayin. Mishnah Gimel, Rabbi Shmuel, Loy Mishloisha Dvar, Mikula Beis Shammai, Chum Beis Hillel. The first one is, Ke'eles Einu Metames Yadayim, K'dibur Beis Shammai, Beis Hillel, Metames Yadayim. So this is halacha that they made a gzeira, brought down in Shabbos, Daf Yadalet, Amar Aleph, Midarabanan, that Svarim are Metames Yadayim, because they didn't want the mouses to be there, so therefore they said that it's metames yadayim if you touch a sefer. The shaila is, what about if you touch kehelis? So it's brought down in Megillah Zayin Amen Aleph. The reason why kehelis would not be metames yadayim, why isn't it considered a sefer, is because because it's only the chachma of Shloimie and it's not considered set over beruach hakodesh. The second case is Meichatas she'asum mitzvasam Beis Shammai mitarim Beis Hillel mitame. Even though Meichatas is mitame, but once he already did the hazah, according to Beis Shammai it's not mitame. According to Beis Hillel it is mitame. And this is a Mishnah in the last parak in Para. Over there the Gemara says something like Beis Shammai, and so obviously they held it was opposite. That Beis Hillel held that it's tar. And the last case is haketzach, which is fennel or black seeds that they used to put into the bread. Beis Shammai mitarin holds that that's not an oichel, and therefore wouldn't have tumas oichel. And Beis Hillel mitamim v'chein lemaisis, because since it's brugel that people eat it for the health, so therefore it is considered an oichel.